forward, Chris Colbert on I think it's Box TV, but I forget what it's called. Sorry, but shout out to Paulie Malignaggi on Pro Box TV. Fought Wednesday night. Okay, let me just pull up the fight. Hold on real quick. I forgot the guy he fought. I don't want to disrespect the guy, but he fought Wednesday night.
Plays last war. It's the new top.
I watched the fight, and pretty much Chris Colbert got, let me just pull this thing. Chris Colbert for Omar Super Salcido. Okay, he fought him Wednesday night fights on Pro Box TV. You can go watch it on YouTube right now. It has 40,350 views. As we all know, Chris Colbert suffered a big loss to Rayo recently where he was knocked out cold and had a viral moment in there where he was telling his corner was instructing him to do things, and Chris Colbert decided to say, I got this, watch, I got this, and proceeded to get KO'd. Now, I will tell you this. There was definitely in this fight, which there was a lot of the Rayo fight in this fight. And this is what I mean. That moment went viral of him not listening to his coach and this shit going. So we have to question the relationship. In fact, he was supposed to fight on my guy Okoye's card in Philadelphia where Gilly was hosting the Wallow. And for some reason backed out of that fight. I don't know the gist of that, but backed out of that fight. And I remember I followed Chris actually on social media, on Instagram, and I was watching him on a live, and he was at the pool hanging out, and he kind of looked overweight. And I was like, dang, he's 2 weeks away from the fight. And I was just like, he doesn't look focused. Something's going on. Now, fast forward, he ends up taking the fight on Pro Box against Salido. And I watched the whole fight. It was 9 rounds yesterday. And 3 of his last 4 performances have not been that good, okay? And you could tell there's turmoil within the camp, between his coach and whatever. So fast forward, he gets knocked out by Rayo. Boom, now he's taking this fight. He's out there. He kind of looks flat-footed in the beginning. His coach keep telling him stay off the ropes. He's usually in the middle of the ring. He was doing okay. Come about the 6th round, he starts taking some shots. He took one left hook that kind of left him. You could tell, like, oh, okay, whatever. And his coach is screaming at him. I want to say from the 5th round. I could be off. Telling him, if you don't show me something, I'm going to stop the fight. Now, at this point, Chris Colbert was never really seriously hurt. He did take a shot, and you could tell whatever. He wobbled back a little bit, but he didn't stop. I don't think it was worth him telling him that. And it seemed like his coach Sosa was very agitated with him in this fight and continued to remind him after the rounds that he would stop the fight and he would show him nothing. So, Chris like, all right, whatever. He's fighting the fight. Doesn't necessarily ever seriously get hurt in this fight. 7th round, I think 7th or 8th round, takes a shot, boom, rocks on another left. But he's on the ropes, and he keeps telling him, you got to do better. You got to show me more. You got to be in the middle of the ring. Like, it's almost like a son not listening to a father situation, and the father just get agitated, like, yo, if you're not going to listen, I'm done with this. That's kind of what it came off of. And I remember that the trainers, actually not the trainers, the analysts, Paulie and I think Algieri, and I know Paulie knows Chris is from Brooklyn, and I think Algieri's from like Long Island, and you could tell they have like a relationship with Chris and whatnot. And the 9th round comes, and no heavy shots are landed, not really necessarily. That I'd be like, oh, whatever. And they throw in the towel. Now, Pro Box analysts are saying, well, he stopped the fight. He loves this kid. He didn't want to see him get hurt. This is where I'm confused at this point. I'm watching this, and I don't see where this fight should be stopped. I don't think he's hurt. It almost felt as if Sosa, I think that's his name, no disrespect if it's not his name, was just agitated with him. Like, yo, bro, like, you're not listening to me. And the reason I bring that up is because the last fight, he didn't listen to him and got knocked out. And you can tell something's been going on between those 2 individuals. And he stops the fight kind of prematurely. Yo, that's it, I'm done. He's not listening. That's what it seemed like. He's not listening. That's it. And protected him from possibly getting another vicious knockout. Maybe he's thinking, let me save this kid now before he takes another loss where he's completely done for his career. Maybe that's what he was thinking. Okay. But I don't see a situation where he comes back from this. Like, it almost seems as if, like, something's been going on behind the scenes between the individuals. I follow Chris on Instagram, and I've noticed a lot of posts about his mental health and how he's been feeling. And it almost seems like he doesn't want to do this anymore. And I think this is a combination of all of those things, because there was never a moment where I was like, damn, he's about to die in this ring, or he's getting pummeled in this situation. I do believe that Chris probably would have gotten stopped in this fight because of the rope situation. But I don't know if Sosa could have stomached another devastating loss like that, maybe to his reputation, maybe to Chris's reputation. And watching that and watching how Chris, I've been watching Chris's career since the beginning, how he was to what he was that night, it almost seems like Chris doesn't want to do this anymore. And that is the most dangerous situation I think a fighter could put himself in, when he does not want to do this anymore. And I wanted to bring that up because, I think a lot of fighters put pressure on themselves. And watching Chris's Instagrams and stuff like that, you could kind of see that a lot of the pressure that he's actually kind of put upon himself, calling himself prime time. Right? When you call yourself prime time, you're literally naming yourself off of a legend that lived off of the lights. You're embracing the lights, but now the lights are becoming too hot. And it seems like you can't handle that. Hanging out with celebrities, and all of a sudden, maybe they're not returning your phone calls no more. These are things that transpire when people don't view you as that guy anymore. And maybe these are the things that are affecting him. And maybe those are the things that are going on between his camp and him at this point. And maybe you were just caught up with other stuff and not taking it serious. I know he has a podcast out now. You know what I mean? He's trying to make that successful. Maybe they believe that he's not there. I've heard rumors of him not wanting to do road work between people that we all know. I don't know what it is, but it was just a very awkward stoppage in that fight. And to me, it seemed like it was building and building over time. And again, we have to figure out, is Chris going to continue to do this? Is Chris motivated to do this? Does he have the confidence to do this? Will he switch trainers in this situation? I don't know. But it almost seems like his camp was very fed up with him and just said, hey, that's it. It's over. He's not listening. This fight is over. So did Chris quit, or did his corner quit on him? And I think that's the question that we have to ask at this point. Now, again, I could be completely off. But Chris Colbert either is completely done right now, or his trainers are completely done with him. And I think it's been building over the last 3 fights. And again, sometimes people may say, oh, this guy's feeling himself too much. I can't tell him what to do. It's a different person right now. And people do become different. You become more famous. You've been doing certain things, you're doing shit. Maybe, just maybe, you're not that same hungry guy at one point, and you don't want to see somebody get hurt. So I did watch that, and that's kind of what I got out of that. And that's just me watching everything that's transpiring. Is Coach done with him? Can Chris Colbert come back from this? I don't know. I don't believe he can. I'm just being honest with you. Not with the current situation. I think Chris is very talented. I think Chris has all of the attributes that can make him a world champion. But maybe the situation that he's in right now is not the best situation. And that's not a knock at his coach. But it might be time for a change, a culture change. Maybe go with somebody else. Maybe just get away from the people that you're around right now. Not worry so much maybe about being around these celebrities, because they don't care about you. They don't care about you, Chris. That's just being real. They care about you when you're up. But when you're down and you look around, there's nobody there. They're not there no more. So to me, I think the Chris Colbert situation has more to do with other things that don't have anything to do pertaining boxing at this point. So we're going to see what happens. But is Chris Colbert done? It might look like that right now.